Hi everyone, it's Alia or Cake Legend, and welcome back to the basics because today's video is a tutorial on how to stack your cake layers. If you're new to cake decorating, this is a pretty important step because you want your cake layers to be stacked nice and straight and evenly as possible so that your cake comes out beautiful in the end. Beautiful in terms of how it looks on the outside, you don't want it to be leaning to one side, but also on the inside when you cut into it. You want nice, beautiful, even layers. And if you're not new to cake decorating, maybe I do things differently than you do, and you might be like, wow, I'm gonna try this method. Either way, thank you for clicking on this video and for being here today. To start, I'm just removing my cakes from the pans. These are just basic vanilla layer cakes, and obviously I greased my pans, but I also put parchment on the bottom so that they really didn't stick. I like to use my turntable when I am cutting my cake layers just to make life easier, but I also like to use my cake pan. I flip it upside down so that I can have my cake resting on top, and this is just so that my turntable doesn't get extra oily and dirty, but also it makes it really easy to move around my cake layers after. For the actual cutting portion, I start slow, just kind of gently sawing on the edge, moving towards the center as I rotate the cake. And as you can see, I'm pausing so I can clean up my mess as I go, just because I don't like crumbs everywhere. My cakes baked pretty flat, so there wasn't too much to cut off of the top. When it comes to cutting this cake in half to get my 2 cake layers, same thing, I start with gentle, more shallow cuts as I rotate the cake. My hand is flat on top so that I can rotate easier. And once I've made it all the way around the cake, I make longer, deeper cuts to get all the way through the center. I'd say the key takeaways here are to keep your hands steady and your knife nice and even. And when you're new, start with slow, small cuts always. But here are our 2 nice even cake layers, and now I can just pick up that cake pan and move them to the side. I think the less I have to pick up the cake layers with my hands, the better, because then there's less risk of them breaking in half. Now for the stacking part, you're going to need a piping bag full of buttercream as well as your filling. I'm using cream cheese icing today. And I'm going to show you a method called reverse scaling. This is just as easy as regular scaling. You just start with the scale at 0 and then you're measuring how much of the filling you're removing from the bowl. So I had my scale at 0 with my cream cheese icing on top, with the spatula in the bowl. So then I take out some cream cheese icing, put it on my cake layer, and then I put the spatula back in the bowl so that I can measure how much I removed. I have 150 grams of cream cheese icing on my cake layer. So now I'm gonna spread that out nice and evenly with my spatula, trying to get it as level and even as I can. The reason we're scaling this at all is to ensure that our layers of filling are all going to be the same. And if you make note of how much filling you use for whatever size cake it is you're doing, it can help you with cost and control and knowing how much filling to make for the next time. Like for the cake I'm making in this video, I started with 150 grams of cream cheese icing, then I realized it just was a little short, so I put another 50 grams on the cake layer, spread it out, and now I know for next time, if I'm gonna have 3 layers of cream cheese icing in my 8-inch layer cake, I'm gonna need 600 grams of cream cheese icing to fill it. So next time I can make exactly 600 grams of cream cheese icing and not have a bunch left over. Not that my extra cream cheese icing went to waste at all. Of course I made cinnamon buns to use it all up. But the point is, this isn't limited to just cream cheese icing. Whatever filling it is you're making, you'll know how much to make for whatever size cake it is you're making. And it'll just make your life so much easier. Another thing to make note of is that I didn't spread this icing all the way to the very, very edge of the cake, and that's because I'm going to pipe a border with my regular vanilla Swiss meringue buttercream. The border or the dam is typically piped first and then your filling is spread on afterwards. But I feel like when I do that, I tend to add too much filling because I'm trying to fill it up to the top of that dam. Also, with the dam in the way, sometimes it's hard to see how evenly I'm spreading my filling in the middle. So yes, I do it backwards, it still does what it's supposed to, and with this buttercream that's kind of sticking out on the edges, I just go in with my small offset and spread it around, kind of like I'm starting the crumb coat of my cake. If you think about it, it's basically just multitasking. Now I'm going to repeat that process, setting my scale back to 0 so I can remove another 200 grams of cream cheese icing. Then I'm going to spread it around, do the buttercream dam, add the cake layer, and repeat. Also, when I add my cake layer on top, I don't press it down too much despite there being that little gap of space between where the filling is and where the top of the dam is. Because I know as I add more filling and cake on top, the weight is going to squish down that cake layer a little bit more anyways, so it's better to let gravity do its thing rather than me squishing down that cake layer all the way and then adding more weight on top, which then squishes the filling out even more. And then we'll just end up with a big disaster. As you can see, I do pat it down a little bit, but I'm very light and gentle. And then again, smoothing the sides with my offset. I don't like to leave the buttercream bulging out a little bit like that because if I were to chill it like that and then try doing my crumb coat or my final coat afterwards, that buttercream's gonna get in the way and prevent me from getting a nice smooth finish. This method should work with any kind of filling really, as long as it's not super runny. If it's something that needs buttercream to keep it in, I would be careful with how much you're putting between your cake layers, first of all. And second of all, I would probably cover the bottom of my cake layer in buttercream too, and then put whatever liquidy filling that is, probably a jam, on top of the buttercream to prevent all of it from soaking into the cake layers and just to keep things a little bit more stable and secure. Once I popped my final cake layer on top, this cake is all stacked and ready to be chilled, crumb-coated, and decorated. I hope this tutorial was helpful and insightful to those of you watching, especially if you're new to cake decorating. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 8 years now, and while my method might not be the most traditional one, it's what works for me and it's what I find to be the most effective. Be sure to leave a like and comment down below if you enjoyed, and let me know also if you guys want to see more tutorials that take us back to the basics. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!